Good morning. My name is Olukemi. It's been a while. So our topic for today is your health and productivity. Some time ago, we started to talk about mental health. So today I'll be going on to talk about the physical aspect of health. But before then, I'll just take the introductory part for today, for this first session. So we want to look at health and what the World Health Organization says about it. You know, the World Health Organization is a global central body in charge of health, and they have some laid down guidelines that all nations must follow, or they are expected to follow, in developing a standard of health and well-being for all their people. So by the definition of WHO, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and is not merely only the absence of disease or infirmity. So in other words, we're saying that health is a total thing. It encompasses the physical, the spiritual, and the soul. It is the right of everyone. It is necessary to make clear that for the purpose of this discussion, we are focusing on individual and employee health and how this can improve or affect our productivity, irrespective of what we do. Whether we are working as employees in an organization, or we are working as self-employed people owning our own business, or we are even home builders. Okay, everybody has a responsibility to make sure that they enjoy the soundness of health and well-being. That is the essence of living, and that is the only way we can have a fulfilled life. Okay, so good health is central for handling stress and living a longer and more active life. In the US and all over Europe, they actually spend trillions of dollars on healthcare. Okay, but then we know that in Nigeria we don't spend that much. Even as at the last budget, the budget for healthcare was 46 billion. If you convert that to dollars, you will know that it's a very minor amount compared to the number of population, which is over 200 million, and we know that is not going to go far. But then I think and I believe that healthy living is actually the individual's business. I know that the government might have a role to play, but we have the larger role to play. Okay, so Harvard School of Business talks about 4 pillars of health, and they are employee health, consumer health, community health, and environmental health, and all these are related. So when we want to talk about complete health, everybody is a stakeholder, including the government, and there are steps we need to take as individuals. Now, those 4 pillars of employee, consumer, community, and environmental are all interrelated. They affect one another. So you have employees who produce products and services that affect the consumer. You have the products and services affecting the community and affecting the environment, and all this come together to affect individual health. So we need to take some steps. There are some steps we need to embrace for us to have good health, and we are actually looking at productivity in this series. So how can we have good health that can impact on our organization's productivity? So I'll first ask the question, do we need to know about health? The answer for me is yes, we need to know about health. So why? Okay, knowing about health, anything that can increase our lifespan and that can make our life worth living, that can increase the enjoyment of life for us, something we should know about. Our life expectancy from birth as a nation is put at 55 years. Meanwhile, if you go to Europe, for instance, UK, it is 81 years. In the US, it is 78 years. China, 77 years. Let's come down to Africa. In South Africa, it is 64 years, and Ghana, 64 years. Meanwhile, Nigeria is 55 years. So we really have like 25 years difference between our life expectancy and that of the very developed world, and that is a very long shot for us as a nation and as a people. So we need to know about health. Secondly, most work on health attributes it to stress and workload, and we know it's everybody knows that in Nigeria we suffer from work overload. We work long hours, we multitask, we don't stop just with the organization we work for. We come back to our family and we do the same, and then we have other social things, other social functions that we are forever involved in. Added to this, we have our environmental issues, like I mentioned before. You have the traffic to deal with, you have poor infrastructure like electricity, poor roads to think about. You have a load of other things like insecurity and things to think about. And then when you are faced with all this, they affect our health. So we really need to take the issue of our health in our hands. Now, there are different dimensions of health. You have the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and financial. And the focus of our own discourse is actually on the mental and the physical health. We actually started on the mental health. So we are, like I said, we are dwelling on the physical health a lot for the next few discussions. But the truth of the matter is whether it is physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, or financial, they are all related. Okay, so we can say that somebody with a sound spiritual health will probably be calm in troubled times because he trusts in a higher being to help him. Okay, and this definitely will lead to good mental health or psychological health. And somebody with a good financial health will probably have or can afford good diet, good medical care, and that will definitely affect his emotional health. So all these things are things that interact and that affect one another. So what then is physical health? What do you mean by sound physical, or what is physical health? Physical health simply refers to the function, or to having the body functioning at its maximum capacity. It is the soundness of the body which makes it free from disease and other abnormalities, and a condition of optimal well-being, such that the individual lives a life of wellness. Physical health is a condition that is attributed to regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest. Okay, and we can, at the end of the day, we can enhance this condition with a good medical treatment or medical attention. Having physical well-being and wellness involves pursuing a lifestyle of health, a healthy lifestyle, either by developing good eating habits or a consistent fitness habit. Okay, so a healthy eating habit, let's look at that first. Having a good eating habit or a healthy eating lifestyle helps to fight disease. It helps to build immunity, while a consistent fitness habit helps to develop a person's breathing and heart function. It helps to develop the muscular strength and flexibility. So, good physical health can work in conjunction with mental health at the end of the day to improve a person's overall quality of life. Like I said before, they all interact, they affect one another. Also, it is better to have and live a healthy lifestyle than to wait until sickness hits and then one has to depend on drugs to live. Why? Because I don't see there's really no drug that is fully effective in curing. In actual fact, it is said in some quarters that for every drug we take, they leave some residue in our bodies, but that can also affect other things. So, meanwhile, having good eating habits, regular exercise, there are things that will actually improve the overall health of our lives. So one can say that building a lifestyle of health is actually cheaper, it is easier, and it is more interesting than having to look for cure or look for solutions to a poor health. So this is like I said, this is our first discussion on how our health can affect our productivity, and our next topic I'll be looking at personal health and what is what our responsibilities are as each person to make sure that this or to make sure that this condition of good health and well-being is achieved by all. Thank you very much for listening, and we would like you to click on the like button and to subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and I wish you a very lovely week. Until we meet again next week, have a very good and healthy week.